If you thought the golden buzzer girl from Norway was just a passing viral trend, the scene unfolding at the Westgate Las Vegas right now is about to prove you dead wrong. In the high-stakes world of entertainment, there is a massive difference between a viral clip and a sustained career. And as of February 2026, Angelina Jordan is officially playing for keeps. We've seen countless child prodigies fade into the "where are they now" bin of history, but the atmosphere inside the International Theater this month tells a completely different story. It isn't just about the music anymore. It's about a calculated, high-risk pivot that has industry insiders scratching their heads. For the last several months, the digital trail for Angelina went uncharacteristically cold, leading to frantic speculation among her millions of followers that she had stepped away from the spotlight entirely. However, our sources indicate that this disappearance was actually a tactical retreat. Behind the heavy velvet curtains of the Westgate, Angelina has been crafting a residency that feels less like a tribute act and more like a coronation. At 20 years old, she has shed the barefoot prodigy image for a polished, sophisticated persona that leans heavily into the dark, moody jazz roots that first made her a household name. This isn't just a series of concerts. It's a million-dollar bet on her own brand. The tension in the industry is palpable because she's doing this without the traditional safety net of a major label tour bus. She's standing on that stage as an independent force, proving that a dedicated fan base is more powerful than a corporate marketing budget. The question on everyone's lips isn't whether she can sing. We've known that since she was 7, but whether she can maintain this momentum without the machine. But as it turns out, the machine might be the very thing she's been trying to escape. There's a persistent rumor circulating in the back offices of Republic Records that suggests the relationship between the world's biggest label and its brightest star didn't just cool down, it went into a total deep freeze. To understand where Angelina is headed in 2026, we have to look at the contracts that almost broke her spirit. For years, fans expected a massive, radio-ready pop album, the kind of polished product that Simon Cowell usually delivers to the masses. Yet, that album never arrived. Investigative digging into her recent release patterns, specifically The Secret of the Soul and Secret of the Star projects, reveals a startling pattern of independence. It appears that a fundamental rift opened up between Angelina's artistic integrity and the label's commercial demands. Industry insiders suggest that the Suits wanted a high-energy pop transformation to compete with the likes of Billie Eilish or Olivia Rodrigo, but Angelina remained steadfast in her devotion to the old soul sound. This creative friction reportedly led to a period of label jail, where an artist is technically signed, but their music is shelved because it doesn't fit a specific market mold. The silence we heard throughout 2024 and 2025 wasn't a lack of productivity. It was a standoff. Angelina chose to release music on her own terms, often through smaller channels or direct-to-fan platforms, effectively bypassing the gatekeepers who wanted to change her. This move was seen as professional suicide by some, but for Angelina, it was a necessary act of survival. She refused to be another industry plant or a manufactured puppet, even if it meant walking away from the biggest distribution network in the world. This defiance has earned her a level of respect among her peers that money can't buy, but it also left her with a massive target on her back. And as the legal battles began to mount, the pressure started coming from her own backyard. While the world saw a scheduling conflict, our investigation into the 2025 Melodi Grand Prix suggests a much darker reality involving legal threats and a total breakdown in national relations. Norway has always viewed Angelina Jordan as its crown jewel, so when she was announced as the headliner for the 2025 Eurovision selection process, the country was electric with anticipation. But then, the unthinkable happened. Just days before the live broadcast, her name was scrubbed from the program. The official statement from NRK, the national broadcaster, was vague, citing unforeseen circumstances. But the reality behind the scenes was a chaotic mess of litigation and personal safety concerns. Reportedly, a dispute over broadcasting rights and international distribution led to a heated exchange between Angelina's management and the Norwegian media giant. NRK allegedly moved to file a massive claim for damages, citing the costs of the elaborate stage production that had already been built for her performance. But the story takes a more somber turn when you look at the security concerns mentioned by her inner circle. Rumors surfaced of intense, targeted harassment from factions who felt she had abandoned her home country for the glitz of Los Angeles. This wasn't just a business disagreement. It was a personal crisis that forced her to withdraw for her own mental and physical well-being. The fallout was so severe that Angelina hasn't performed a major public set in Norway since, marking a tragic disconnect between a star and the land that birthed her talent. She chose to prioritize her safety over a trophy, a move that many called brave, while others labeled it a diva moment. Regardless of the narrative, the bridges weren't just burned, they were demolished. But if you think this setback hurt her bottom line, you haven't seen the latest financial disclosures. Forget what you think you know about how musicians make money, because Angelina Jordan is currently writing the blueprint for a $5 million empire that the labels can't touch. In the streaming era, most artists are lucky to make enough for a cup of coffee from 1 million plays, but Angelina has played the long game. As we track her financial trajectory into the second quarter of 2026, the numbers are staggering. We aren't just talking about digital royalties. We are looking at a diversified portfolio that includes high-end fashion collaborations, private event bookings that command six-figure fees, and a direct-to-consumer merchandise line that sells out within minutes of every drop. Because she has moved toward an independent model, she is keeping a significantly higher percentage of every dollar earned compared to her peers who are stuck in traditional 360 deals. Her net worth is now estimated to be hovering between $3 and $5 million, a figure that is almost unheard of for an artist who hasn't had a top 40 radio hit in the last year. But the real wealth lies in her ownership. By retaining the master recordings of her latest works, she has secured a passive income machine that will support her for decades. This financial freedom is exactly what allowed her to tell the big labels no when they came knocking with restrictive contracts. She has essentially become her own venture capitalist, reinvesting her earnings into high-production music videos and the elaborate Vegas residency that serves as her current home base. While other stars are struggling with the rising costs of touring and the shrinking margins of the music business, Angelina is thriving in a niche she built from the ground up. She's not just a singer, she's the CEO of a brand that is currently recession-proof. But even with all this success, there is a lingering shadow over her personal journey, the weight of a legacy that isn't even her own. Living in the shadow of a legend is hard, but for Angelina, the constant comparisons to a tragic icon have become a double-edged sword that threatens to overshadow her own identity. Since the moment she stepped onto the stage of Norway's Got Talent at age 7, the media has forced a specific narrative onto her, that she is the reincarnation of Amy Winehouse. For a child, that's a heavy burden. For a 20-year-old woman trying to find her own voice in 2026, it has become an exhausting struggle. Our sources close to her creative team say that Angelina has spent the last 2 years intentionally trying to deconstruct that image. While she respects the legends of jazz and soul, she is reportedly frustrated by a public that refuses to let her grow past the prodigy stage. The pressure to maintain that haunting, gravelly tone while also evolving into a modern artist has led to moments of intense creative burnout. We've seen other artists crumble under this kind of scrutiny, often leading to incidents or accusations surfacing regarding their mental health or lifestyle choices. Fortunately, Angelina has remained remarkably grounded, largely due to the fierce protection of her family. However, the internal conflict is evident in her lyrics. Her 2026 releases are darker, more introspective, and deal with themes of being trapped in a box and singing for ghosts. This isn't the happy-go-lucky pop music the industry wanted. It's a raw look at the toll of being a child star in the digital age. She is fighting a war on two fronts, one against the industry that wants to commodify her, and one against a fan base that wants her to stay frozen in time. What happens next will determine if she becomes a legacy act before she's even 25, or if she finally breaks free of the comparisons that have defined her life. Behind the closed doors of a private studio in London, a project is being recorded that could finally silence every critic and turn the 2026 rumors into a global reality. As we wrap up this investigation, the most exciting piece of the puzzle is just coming to light. While the Vegas residency is the public face of her career right now, our eyes on the ground have spotted Angelina entering and leaving a world-renowned recording facility in the UK multiple times over the last month. The word in the inner circle is that she is working on a secret collaboration for a major motion picture soundtrack, one that many believe will be the Bond theme moment her fans have been praying for. This isn't just another song, it's the bridge to Hollywood. Furthermore, there are whispers of a massive redemption tour across Europe for late 2026, which would include a return to Norway on her own terms, potentially mending the fences that were destroyed during the Eurovision scandal. She is playing a masterclass in scarcity marketing, keeping her appearances rare and her music meaningful, which only drives the demand higher. But the most shocking revelation isn't a tour or a movie. It's the rumor that she has turned down a multi-million-dollar offer to return to the Got Talent franchise as a judge. She is effectively saying that she is done with the world of reality TV competitions. She has graduated from the contestant phase and is moving into the legend phase of her career. Whether the world is ready for a 20-year-old with the soul of a centenarian remains to be seen, but Angelina Jordan isn't waiting for permission anymore. She is the master of her own destiny, and the 2026 update is clear. The barefoot girl has finally found her footing, and she's walking straight toward the history books. At the end of the day, we have to ask ourselves, are we witnessing the birth of a once-in-a-century icon, or the ultimate act of defiance against a broken industry? Angelina Jordan's 2026 journey is a reminder that talent alone isn't enough in the modern world. You need the iron will to protect it. She has navigated the treacherous waters of child stardom, legal battles with national broadcasters, and the crushing weight of public expectation, all while maintaining a level of grace that is rarely seen in Hollywood. She could have easily taken the easy path, signed the pop contracts, and become a flash in the pan. Instead, she chose the harder, independent road, and it's paying off in ways no one predicted. As she prepares to take her sound to the biggest screens in the world, the mystery of Angelina Jordan only deepens. She remains an enigma, a girl from the future with a voice from the past, caught in a present that is still trying to figure her out. One thing is certain, the world will be watching her every move, waiting to see if she can finally shatter the glass ceiling she's been pushing against for over a decade. But honestly, looking at where she is now, it seems like she already has.